So resistor part I have explained to you. So now finding the value of resistance. For that, the formula for resistance, calculation of resistance can be done. So for that, you need to know the law called as Ohm's law. Fine. Ohm's law we have to learn. Ohm's law. Now, Ohm scientist has given the relation between V and I. What is V means? What do you mean by
Potential difference.
potential difference? What is I?
Current.
Current. So relation between V and I is given by the scientist, physician Ohms. So his this one, the law is called as Ohm's law, and the conductors which follows these laws are called ohmic conductors. मैंने नहीं निकाला, बैग में ही है, उसी में है, हमने निकाला. So V and I. So it is, what's the law told that? What's his law states that when physical conditions of conductor remain same. One second. Physical conditions of the conductor remain same. Now, physical conditions means what? Temperature and the shape of the conductor, length of the conductor. Physical condition, that is temperature, length, area of thickness. When we are placed, it's left constant, it's kept constant. Then potential difference applied at the ends of conductors varies directly as current flowing through the conductor. So this means in any simple circuit, whatever the amount of current flowing through the conductor and the potential difference applied at the ends of conductor are directly proportional. So that means if you want to change the amount of current, you have to change the potential difference. We have seen if the difference between the two ends is more, what will happen? Number of electrons flowing will be less or will be more or will remain same? Yes. If the two tanks of water, take an example of a water tanks. So in one tank, the amount of water is too high and the second tank has amount of water is very less. So in that case, the amount of water flowing, the speed of the water will be less or more?
Be more.
More water will start flowing because the difference is too much. If the difference is less, so one is this much and another one is this much only, so difference between two layers are same, then the speed will be less because the difference in water will be less in both the cases. So in case of the conductors also the same thing happen. When two conductors, two ends of the conductor, the potential difference is less, what will happen to the amount of current?
It'll be less.
It will be less because
Yes.
number of electrons flowing will be less in that case, because they have to make that difference equal. And if the difference is too high, then
It'll be more.
Current will flow.
the more current will flow. So that is only we tell the potential difference applied at the ends of the conductor and the current flowing in the conductor are directly proportional. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
So if the difference is more, then only more amount of current will flow. If the difference is less, a less amount of current will flow, because the number of electrons flowing will be less in that case. So mathematically, we can write this as V directly proportional to I. And for every conductor, so this proportionality sign means what? V by I ratio will be always constant. For a specific conductor, V varies directly as I. So that means I increases, potential difference increases, potential difference decreases, current value will decrease. So when we take the ratio V by I, that should be always constant. Direct proportionality tell the same thing. The ratio of two terms always remain constant. And experimentally, the scientists got to know that this constant is equal to the resistance of the conductor. This V by I, this value of a constant is equal to the resistance of the conductor. Just a second. So write down this. This statement you have to remember as it is. You cannot change anything. If there is any change, no marks you will get, because this is very important. Have you written down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so V by I ratio for a particular conductor always remain constant, and this constant value is called as resistance. Means that value of a constant is always equal to the resistance provided by the conductor. Clear? So whatever the amount of resistance will be that conductor is providing, that is always will equal to when we find out the value of a current flowing through that conductor. And if we find out the potential difference across that ends of the conductor, if we take the ratio, so this value of a ratio and the resistance are equal values. So therefore, formula of resistance can be taken as V by I is equal to resistance. And this you can remember by this triangle for remembering. Just like you have remembered for SV and T, speed, velocity, speed, time, and distance. Similarly, this one also. V, I, and R you can write. R is equal to V by I, I is equal to V by R and V is equal to I into R. Okay, this formula is very important to find out the resistance. By knowing the resistance and current, we can calculate the potential difference. By knowing the potential difference and resistance, you can calculate the current as well. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now there is an activity for verification of Ohm's law. We can verify Ohm's law also. For that activity given in your textbook, that is a practical also. You have to perform that. So this is the diagram given in your textbook. Now in this case, here this is a battery. So there are no 4 batteries at the start. We have to connect one by one. After every reading, we have to increase the number of cells by 1. This is connected in series. Now the ends of that has to be, the batteries is end has to be connected to, sorry, this is wrong one. One second. Textbook. This is from NCERT, right? So here, this is a battery. No, this is rheostat is there. Yeah. Textbook I need to open. Wait a second. I need to open the textbook. Are you able to see?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. See here in this circuit, what we have to do is, this is a battery. The set of batteries are there. The dots are shown. That is because we have to keep on increasing the value of potential difference one by one after every reading. So first one cell we have to connect in this circuit. So that means ends of that cell has to be connected to a key ammeter in series, and then this is a resistor we have connected, one nichrome wire we have connected. Nichrome wire works as a resistance. It will provide the resistance in the circuit. So this is the resistance we have to connect in the circuit, and ends of that has to be connected to the positive terminal. And then at the two ends of this resistance we have to connect the potential difference. Voltmeter we have to connect to measure the potential difference at the ends of this resistor. At any point we have to connect the potential differences. We have to connect like this voltmeter. This is ammeter which is connected in series. How it is series? You can see batteries is positive terminal is here. The current coming from that, the wire coming from that has been connected to the positive terminal of the voltmeter, and the same positive terminal has been connected to the ammeter's positive terminal. The negative terminal of both of them have been combined to form connect to the negative terminal of the battery. Okay, key is present here for switching on and switching off the circuit. Now in this case, what we have to do, first only one cell is in circuit, is connected in the circuit. So in that case, when one cell is connected, at that time switch on this key and make the observation of reading of ammeter and reading of voltmeter. We have to write down in this table. So this is the observation table. The number of cells used in the circuit, 1, 2, 3, 4. So first one we have to connect. At the time when one cell is connected in the circuit, we have to check out the current value, the ammeter reading we have to write down here, and the voltmeter value we have to write in the second column. And then we have to calculate the value of V by I, that is ratio, V and I ratio we have to calculate. So suppose for example, if we get the value, current is suppose 0.5 ampere, and at that time potential difference is suppose 1 volt. Okay, So what we will get, V by I ratio 1 by 0.5, that is equal to 2 we will get. Second example, now second value, we will get current. Now here in the second case, what we have to do, we have to increase one more battery, one more cell we have to connect in this circuit in series with the earlier cell. So one cell, negative terminal of the one cell connect to the positive terminal of the second cell, and the negative terminal of the second cell has to be connected in the circuit. That means now there are two but cells are connected in the circuit. That means the total potential difference will be increased or decreased when two, now here the connection is from this to this, here this is the connection, this is not the connection, this is done. Now this is this connection, the two cells have been connected in series. What will happen to the potential difference? Will increase or will decrease?
Increase.
Will increase, it is double. Potential difference is added up, no? Here they are in series, one after the other connected, that means it will increase, it will be double. If both of them has the same value, that means it get doubled. So according to this value, the voltmeter reading will be there. So whatever the potential difference you have connected, the same amount of same reading is given by voltmeter, because it is also finding the difference. How much difference we have connected in the series, the same difference is shown. Huh. So it is if both the potential difference are same, that means here voltmeter reading will be also the same one, equal, double. So it is here also it get doubled. So suppose it is 1 volt initially. So two cells of 1 volt has been connected, then it is 2 volt. If this is 2 volt, then if we measure the ammeter reading, approximately it will come as 1 ampere. Huh. So it will be 2 by 1. This value will be also equal to 1. Are you able to understand this part? Okay. Now again we have to increase the number of cells. For the third reading, we have to increase now. One more cell we have to connect. That means these three are in contact, and here the circuit will be like this. Now these three cells are in series. So due to addition of three cells, the potential difference in the circuit will increase by 3 times. That means it will increase 3 volt. So according to that, if you check the reading of ammeter, approximately that will be equal to 1.5 ampere. So it is 3 divided by 1.5 will come again 2 value. Now for the fourth reading, what we have to do, we have to increase one more battery. So finally the circuit will be end up like this. So 4 cells are in connection. So one battery of 4 cells has been connected. So the total potential difference is now 4 times. If they are equal, if all of them says potential difference is equal, then it will increase to 4 volt. Then this will become
2 ampere.
So 4 by 2, it will become 2. Now we got every time approximately, this is not the exact values you will get. There are some other readings you will get when you are actually performing this experiment. So at that time, we will get this value 2, and you will get to know that is this value, V by I value, will be approximately equal to the resistance, this value of resistance in the circuit. Approximately, not exactly, approximate value of this 2 is this resistance of 2 ohm might be connected in the circuit. This is how we have to verify Ohm's law. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here the same experiment is given. This experiment is important. This question is asked for 3 marks. Explain the activity to verify Ohm's law. First, use only one cell. What is given behind it? So yeah, set up a circuit shown in figure consisting of the nichrome wire XY of length, say 0.5 meter, an ammeter, voltmeter, and the 4 cells of 1.5 volt each. So I have taken one, but this is 1.5. They have told already. Nichrome is a wire or alloy of nickel and chromium, manganese, and iron metal. Nichrome is an alloy of nickel, chromium, manganese, and iron. Remember this part. And this is generally used for resistance, providing external resistor. So first use only one cell as a source in the circuit. Note the readings in the ammeter I for the current and reading of the voltmeter V for the potential difference across the nichrome wire XY in the circuit. Tabulate them in the table given. Next, connect two cells in the circuit and note the respective readings of the ammeter and voltmeter for the values of current through the nichrome wire and potential difference across the nichrome wire. Repeat the above steps using 3 cells and then 4 cells in the circuit separately. Calculate the ratio V by I for each pair of potential difference V and current I, and then plot the graph for it also. So plot a graph between V and I. Observe the nature of the graph. You will see the graph like this. When you are plotting the values, current is always plotted on the x-axis and the potential difference is plotted on the y-axis. When you point these plot these points, you will get the points like this. And when you join them, the graph is a straight line passing through origin. It is a straight line passing through origin. So straight line means, what does this straight line means? So any graph.
Resistance is constant.
What do you mean by any graph is shown by a straight line? What does that mean?
Both are directly proportional to each other.
It's a linear graph. This is a linear graph. Linear graph means the x and y. The linear equations in two variables, x and y, are proportional. Linear graph, that means x and y are directly proportional. So this shows that V and I varies directly. So here you can see it is written in this activity. You will find that approximately the same value for V by I is obtained in each case. Thus, V by I graph is the straight line that passes through the origin of the graph as shown in figure. V by I is a constant ratio. German physicist George Simon Ohm found out the relation between the current I flowing in the metallic wire and the potential difference across its terminals. The potential difference V across the ends of given metallic wire in an electric circuit is directly proportional to the current flowing through it, provided its temperature remains the same. Physical conditions like temperature. So the temperature should be constant. Then only this V by I ratio will be constant. And this is called Ohm's law. So in other words, V is directly proportional to I. V by I is equal to constant, that is equal to R. R. So R is the constant of the given metallic wire at given temperature, is called its resistance. And what is resistance? They have told it is a property of the conductor to resist the flow of charges. Resist, that is obstruct the flow of charges. Okay. SI unit of this resistance is ohm. His name, the scientist's name is given to the unit of resistance, that is ohm. It is shown by the symbol omega. This is also called ohm only, so pronounced as ohms. Ohms, according to Ohm's law, R is equal to V by I. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Verification clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No. So this is what, so draw the diagram, write the observation table and draw the graph. So write the diagram first, draw the diagram, then write the observation table.
Ma'am, are we supposed to read the observation table?
Yes, you have to write down.
Okay, ma'am.
Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You have the graph as well. But graph for these points you plot. Graph point plot for these points. Potential difference 1, 2, 3, 4, and the current 0 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2. Completed. And below that, write down. The VI graph is a straight line. VI graph is a straight line passing through origin. The straight line signifies direct proportionality between V and I.
Can you repeat it again?
Straight line signifies direct proportionality between V and I. Okay. Now from this graph, we can calculate the value of resistance as well. How to calculate the value of resistance from this graph? I have one of the graphs. So this is one of the graph we have, VI graph, and from this graph we have to calculate the value of resistance. So what we have to do is the resistance is equal to slope of the graph. We can find out resistance by finding the slope of the graph. Slope or gradient of the graph, that means it is right triangle, vertical rise by base. We have it is equal to vertical distance by horizontal distance in a right triangle. Vertical height actually it's rise. Vertical rise, we call it as. From any point, we have to draw a perpendicular on current axis. So where is current? You have to keep I. This is the current axis on x-axis. So from any point, draw a perpendicular. So we have to draw the perpendicular on the graph. From any point, when you draw the graph, you have to draw from any point, you have to draw the perpendicular. So then you will get the right triangle. In that right triangle now, take a vertical perpendicular distance, that is perpendicular height. This value you have to calculate. So for example, it is 9, it is 1 value. 0.8 and this is 1.5, that means this is 1.0. So this value is 1 and the base is 0.3. So this value is 1 divided by 0.3, that is 10 by 3. So this means 3.33 is this value is the value of resistance of that VI graph. So what we have to do is actually the slope means tan theta. Trigonometry it is actually. So slope, that is denoted by symbol M, that is equal to tan theta. So what is theta? Theta is one angle. So angle made by theta is equal to angle made by line or a graph with current axis. Why I'm keep on writing current axis, I'm keep on telling you also current axis. Current axis, that means we have to make the angle. So this is the angle made by with the current axis only. So it is not necessary that is current is always taken on x-axis. It can be taken on y-axis also. Sometimes to make you confused, the value of current has been taken on y-axis. So that's the reason I'm keep on explaining you current axis. So angle, the theta, this is the symbol called theta. It is generally used for trigonometry. So in the trigonometry, theta value, that is the angle between the line graph and I-axis, current axis. So this angle is called theta. Then tan theta value of this triangle, this means tan theta is opposite by adjacent. For this angle theta, opposite side is this one. This is if you suppose A, B and O are the points given. Then for angle theta, opposite side is AB and adjacent side is OB. So tan theta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. So opposite side, that means it is called as vertical rise. Vertical height or vertical rise divided by OB is the horizontal distance. So it is horizontal distance. So this way we can calculate. So measuring the vertical distance, we have to measure this vertical distance. It is not properly perpendicular. I have not drawn because the graph is not proper. So perpendicular we have to draw, and then that height you have to measure, which is resembles the y values, y-axis values, and then the horizontal distance, that is a distance on x-axis. So that ratio, if you calculate, that ratio will give you the value of resistance. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here, this is a one thing. So write down first this part. In your diagram, whatever the values you are getting, according to that, write down. So this is according to this diagram I have written, but it is not proper. Whatever the graph you have right now drawn, so from that find the value of resistance. These values you copy down from your graph. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now here one more question is there based on this part. If this is a graph is given of two wires or two different temperatures. So now you have to calculate, we have to check only which wire will provide more resistance. So this is the VI graph of two different wires, two different resistors. We can consider two different wires are there. So that is plotted on the same graph. Now by seeing this, you have to tell which one will provide more resistance. We don't have any other values. We have only this graph. So from that, we have to calculate which one will provide more resistance. How to calculate this?
Ma'am, is it T1?
How we are calculating?
Ma'am, is it
Ma'am,
T2?
because the angle is less, the theta.
So this is a slope, vertical height. From the one point, you draw. This is tan theta. In terms of tan theta, I will explain you. That will be always better. On y-axis, you have to draw a perpendicular from one point. Now see here, on T2, the base is same for both of them. There are two right triangles. For finding this slope of T1, we need to take this triangle. And for finding the slope T2, we have to consider this triangle, right? So in this case, horizontal distance is same in both the cases. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the vertical distance? Both of them, resistance is equal to vertical height by horizontal distance. So this is, suppose point, if you consider O, this is point A, this is point B, and this is point C. So what is the vertical height for the first one? R1 is equal to
AC by OC.
AC by OC, right? And for R2 is equal to
BC by OC.
BC by OC. Denominators are same. According to numerator, which one is greater? AC or BC?
AC.
Which one is greater?
AC.
AC is greater than BC. So therefore, R1 is greater than R2. So R1, that means, sorry, here it is R1 means AC we have taken. So this is RT2 and this is RT1. So RT1 and RT2 is greater than RT1. RT1, RT2. So which one is greater than resistance of
T2.
second wire is greater than the first one. Okay, this is in terms of perpendicular distance if we want to calculate. Or you can calculate, this is the second method of calculating, measure the angle with the I-axis. With the current axis, measure the angle. So this is theta 1 and this angle is theta 2. So here tan value, so that is a tan theta 1 is actually slope is equal to tan theta 1. Tan theta. So as theta increases, that is angle increases, value of tan theta is a ratio actually. So this ratio is called as tan theta. So opposite distance by adjacent distance ratio is called the tan theta value. So that tan theta for different angles is different. So therefore, if angle increases, the value of tan theta increases. So now which value of theta is greater? Second or third one is larger? Second one is larger. Second angle is greater than the first angle. So therefore, tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1. And if the second is slope of second line, slope of second line wire is greater than slope of first wire. And slope means the resistance value. Resistance is calculated in terms of slope. So resistance of second wire is greater than resistance of first wire. Is it possible to understand? Are you able to understand this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to check out the theta value. Okay, now one more thing before writing. Now tell me in this question. In this question, which one has more resistance? R1, R2, R3? R1.
R1.
R3. Ma'am, R3.
R3. Ma'am, R3.
R3.
That's the reason I told you that always questions are fooling questions. See, that is what I told you, the angle with Which axis?
Current
Current
axis.
axis.
Current axis. So where is the current?
The
The
axis.
On y-axis. So you have to check the angle with y-axis. So this angle is theta 1. This is theta 2. This is theta 3. So which angle is greater?
Theta 3.
Theta 3 is greater. So therefore, which resistance is greater than?
R3
R3.
R3 is greater than R2. So
and
it will
R1.
be R3 is greater than R2 and R2 angle is greater than R1. So therefore, R2 is greater than R1. So this is a sequence of resistors. Is this clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now clear? There
Yes,
should not be any confusion. Observe diagram very carefully. Don't directly go with the normal funda. So there are always confusing. The questions are always confusing. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so write down this part then. This part you have written, huh? Yeah. Write down this and the question. This is a question.
Mom, could you scroll down?
Completed?
Done, Mom.
Okay. Then you can leave today.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.